Is the Pope Catholic? That's a rhetorical question used to express the sentiment that something is obviously true. Like when someone asks, is Donald Trump a racist? You might answer, is the Pope Catholic? It's like, of course. The Vatican picking a non-Catholic Pope would be like the American president picking a Surgeon General without a medical license. Who would do that? But since the Pope is Catholic, there's only so much they will let him do to modernize a 2,000-year-old institution that Jesus himself was never a part of in the first place. Remember, Jesus was a Jew of Middle Eastern descent who spent his entire life in Asia and Africa, and yet the Catholic Church hasn't picked an Asian Pope in 12 centuries, and the last African Pope died 1,500 years ago. The average age of the cardinals in this year's conclave was 70 years old, and the church still does not allow women in the priesthood, so it was a pretty safe bet they were going to pick an old white guy. Just not this old white guy. Robert Prevost, the new Pope Leo XIV, is a 69-year-old Chicago native and the first ever pontiff from the United States. On the one hand, he's a Trump critic who denounced J.D. Vance, supports immigrants, opposes the death penalty, prayed for George Floyd, warns about the dangers of climate change, studied in Rome, served in Peru, and speaks Spanish and Italian. On the other hand, he voted in Republican primaries, seems to oppose abortion, criticize same-sex unions, and has been criticized himself for his handling of sexual abuse cases. But this pope is unusual. His maternal grandparents, Joseph Martinez and Louise Baquie, lived in New Orleans' 7th Ward and are described as black or mulatto in historical records unearthed by black genealogist Jari Honora. The Pope's older brother, John Prevost, confirmed the Pope's Creole roots, but told the New York Times that his family does not identify as black. I'm not Catholic, but years ago in Washington, D.C., I regularly attended St. Augustine Catholic Church, where a defiant young black priest challenged church orthodoxy and promoted social justice. From what I can tell, Leo seems to follow broadly in the reformist tradition of Pope Francis, who himself was far from perfect, but better than the previous guys. But I don't have high expectations for any pope. So the most significant aspect of Pope Leo's election I see is the symbolism and the platform. At a time when America's fake Christian president taunts Catholics and ignores the teachings of Jesus to promote his perverted vision of white Christian fascism, I can only hope that America's first new pope will balance the scales.